Hey, all right, what's up? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and this I wanted to have this up by, Monday. It's Saturday right now, but craziness happens, and this basically is going to be coaching vlog number 4, and this is going to be a breakdown of our opening game, which was played actually a week ago yesterday. And before I get to this, after we played our first game, started practice this past week in preparation for game number 2, which was actually going to be played today because the team that we are playing was in COVID quarantine, so the game got pushed back from Friday to Saturday afternoon. However, Thursday we got word that we had a COVID situation that had existed prior to this week, which caused us to go into quarantine as well. I actually just got back about 20 minutes ago from getting a COVID test. It's unfortunate, but this is what's going on right now, and it sucks, but we have to deal with it. So right now we are done getting together as a program until November 20th. So we have a game scheduled, a tentative game. Our next game will be November 21st. We will have two live practices to get ready for it when we can get back together, which is not ideal, obviously. But the team that we were to play today, which we felt very good about getting a W against, was going to be in the same boat. So it is what it is. You don't make excuses. You make a plan and you go forward. Now, that said, obviously that's a thing of the past now. So what we will do next week, there's really not going to be a lot we can do with the team, but the week prior to when we hopefully are able to play again, we should hopefully have an opponent set up. That's also pretty much week to week at this point, unfortunately. And if we can get an opponent within that Monday, or actually over next weekend, then starting a week from Monday, we will do virtual practices where we'll just be putting a game plan together online, going over responsibilities and assignments, and even more important than that, keeping our team engaged. And I've talked about where I coached before and the difficulties those kids have in that area, and this is just another one that they really honestly just don't need. So the main, as much as getting ready to play a football game, it's about keeping the kids engaged and giving them something positive to look forward to. So that's out of the way. And now to our first game. This was a game, we played this against a team that we always, year in, year out, have back and forth battles with. They're always close, pretty much always decided by a touchdown or less. This was no exception. And as a team, it's pretty much standard. We're more physical than them up front, so we look to control things up front and grind the clock down, use our running game. They have more athletes than us. They're a spread team, so they're going to take their shots and try and create things in open space, because especially defensively, we do not, I repeat, do not have a lot of team speed. We just don't. Our fastest kids, we probably have 3 kids that run 4.7s in that neighborhood. You may think that's fast. I ran technically a 4.7. I ran a high 4.6s in the high 4.6s in high school, but that was 40 years ago. So for my time, and I wasn't the fastest kid on my team. I had 2 kids faster than me, but I was still considered fast. And now I guess that would still be considered fast, but it's no longer what you would consider top end fast. So we have, and just by comparison, one of the other schools, the school I was at for over a dozen years prior to this, very successful school, Westview in Avondale, Arizona. One year, we actually had, of our 11 starting defensive players, we had 10 that ran under 5. So we had one kid that ran a 5 flat. He was our 3 technique at D tackle. And everybody else on that defense ran under a 5. Our linebackers, we had a couple of kids that ran 4.5s. We had a defensive end that ran a 4.5, 2 or 3 4.6s. That was a fast defense, and we come nowhere close to that here. So, and you're going to see as we go through that. That was one of the things that bit us in the ass, team speed on defense. We don't need speed with the offense we run. We do not need a lot of speed on offense. We just need to execute. That's why we run this offense. Defense, you want to have it. Special teams, you need to have it. And to be honest, there were 3 key plays in this game. We ended up losing. I'll cut to the chase. We lost 41-38. We had a 38-27 lead with about 5.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We had just scored, kicked off. They took their second kickoff to the house. The first one, fortunately, was called back, but still gave them a short field. This one counted. Big momentum swing. We got the ball back. Got into a 4th and 2 situation, which we always love with our offensive line. Quarterback fumbled the snap. We did not pick it up. They went down and scored the winning touchdown. And then at that point, we're playing catch-up with about 1.5 minutes left, and that's not what this offense is built for. But even there, we had an opportunity and a dropped pass. So literally, if we had executed any one of those 3 plays, meaning made a frickin' tackle on the kickoff return that went house, not fumbled that snap and got a first down, or completed a pass towards the end, ball game is over. That's football. And that's one of the things we have stressed with this group of kids. They have potential. There's some youth on this team, but it's about changing the culture and going into a game with the expectation that when you need to make a big play, you're going to make it, and we're that close, guys. But this was a great game. This team is probably the second most talented team we'll play this year as the schedule sits now, and you'll see it's a team that definitely, besides the speed edge, we had the edge physically and the edge for the most part in doing what we wanted to do. Just couldn't put it together at the end. So let's get into this and break this down. So, all right, this is our first play of the game. We wanted to come out and set a physical tone here. Again, they're pretty big. They're bigger up front offensively than they are defensively, but they've still got some big boys up here. This is their smaller defensive end. He goes about 200, 195, 200. This kid over here is over 220. Interior guys are both in the 250, 260 range. On our side, our tight end here is about 265. Backside, we're a little smaller. Our tackle over here is about 260. This tight end is 195. Our guard here is 225. This is not our starting center. He did not come into this game until the second half because he was recovering from a concussion, and we wanted to bring him on slow. He'd only had a couple of practices, and that's part of what we do too. If you don't practice, you don't start. So he pretty much sat most of the first half. But this kid is still solid. He's about 255. Guard over here, he's our runt of the litter. He's about 5'9" and 185 pounds. But, in our offense, again, it's a double wing, but we have a lot of, because especially I was a wing T coach for over 20 years of my 32 in the profession. So there's a lot of wing T influence in this double wing. It's very similar offenses anyway, but we incorporate a lot more of the traditional wing T into our double wing than most other teams that run the offense do. Tackle here, and by the way, our starting center is 6'2" and 270. So he's a big boy. And this is our big guy here, the right tackle. He's 6'4", 300 pounds. So anyway, let's get to it. So our fullback, again, he's 260. This is just wedge play. We wanted to set a tone and impose our will on them physically to start the game. And, we were looking for 4 or 5 yards here and some movement. So let's see what we got. All right, almost drew them offside, probably should have, and that's what we wanted. Now the issue here, and this is what we don't like. You'll see this develop. He cuts this back like it's trap, and it's two very different running styles. Right now, he should be right behind, inside. Here's our right tackle. He should be in between him and the right guard, and he should stay on that path, and if anything, lean more to the left towards the center. He tries to cut it out the backside, and again, we come together here. We let these guys run free on the outside, and he kind of cuts into where they're at, which you see here, if he had just stuck here, they're trying to get on his back basically, and we would have got 2 or 3 more yards out of it. But you know, he's still a tough kid to bring down. So it's what we wanted on the first play. Play number 2, we're in our robust, aka T formation. We call it robust, and we're going to go to the fullback again. We in our scrimmage did not show power at all. We felt we could run it against them. We wanted to see what they lined up in, and let's look at that real quick. So I think this is not the defense they played us in the last game of last season. They had, in the last game of last season, they constantly had these two walked up. They dropped these guys down, and they were bringing 6, 7, 8 men through the gaps every time. They had some success and some failure doing that, and I think what they did, in fact, I'm pretty much positive, the team we played before them did the best job shutting down this offense last season. And I think they looked at that film, and with a little bit more time to prepare, since this is the first game, decided they wanted to emulate what that team did, which was basically a 4-4, 3 high in the secondary, which the corners are so far off you can't even see them. So 4-4 in the alignments, 2 techs, either a 2 tech or 1 technique inside here on the guards, and they would work these 2 to pinch, meaning they'd come between the guard and center gap. And then in a 7 technique with the ends, and their job was basically to get on the inside shoulder of our tight end, prevent movement, take away basically the kick, and just clog up the power lane. And then they had their 2 inside linebackers on guard keys, so they would go wherever our guards went. Outside players here, the outside linebackers, they have their athletes here. These guys are the leverage players, meaning they're responsible for shutting down the outside run. So that's an overview of the defense and what they were trying to accomplish with that. This play is going to be a belly play. This is a play that's not actually a double wing staple. In the double wing offense, it's called a G play, where they will pull and kick with a guard. We don't do that. This is a wing T staple play, fullback belly, and we will block it the same way here. We'll get, depending on the alignments, we can get a double out here. Back to that side leads up to the first linebacker, and then we'll, in this case, would crush him down inside. And it's going to be tight. It's actually more ideal against this alignment than it is against teams that walk guys up into the gaps, but it does what we want us to do. And this was an early play, second play of the game, like I said, and this was one of the ugly plays. We get what we need to get out of it, and our fullback, you can't downgrade a kid for fighting for yards. You can downgrade him, and I'm talking about film grade, not actually degrading him, but obviously you're going to correct him too. Not very good ball security. He's fighting to use his stiff arm, has the ball a little bit loose, and in traffic we don't teach this. We teach the lockdown technique, so high and tight with the ball, and when you're in traffic, especially when you're engaged and people are trying to strip, lock down with the off wrist, and it makes it harder to separate that arm from the body. So that's the ball security technique we teach, which he did not do. Let's see it. So here, one thing, coaching point, we like to cheat here, and this is our freshman again. He's still learning. We like to have his toes in front of the fullback so he gets to the hole first. He was a little bit misaligned, and you can see he's not. We want him ideally about a half step in front right here. So we get good movement up front. Here, they came back. This is a poor job by the center, picking up backside here. And 2 things. One, he should, if this had timed right, the freshman, you can see the hole. Freshman would be up inside and looking to get next level, and he would be right on his ass. And you can see it's because of that alignment issue, it's a little bit off, and that's going to cause him to hesitate. But great job on the hole. We collapse it here. This is outstanding. Now this is where the problem comes in. He's a load to bring down, so he's going to run through. Number 5 comes up, does a good job stripping. He didn't have ball security. We lose the ball. So an auspicious start. Now we stop them. We forced a 3 and out on that drive. This is our second possession, and here we put together a nice little drive. This is going to be a play that we ran a lot in the scrimmage, our sweep play, and it's the wing T buck sweep. And again, not necessarily the way traditional double wing teams run it, but I like the hybrid we have. I think it makes our offense much more effective. And we're going to get the perimeter. They're giving it to us by these 7 tech alignments. It makes it easy to crush this down. Wing back here would normally have the down block on the edge player. Instead, he's going to go second level, and we'll leave these guys to the guards to kick. And we had to make this adjustment because we didn't necessarily get it right every time we ran this early in the game. But we just need to work with our guards, getting their eyes inside a little bit quicker, looking for the kick to come quicker than it normally does when you have a linebacker full coming down as a leverage player. But this is still a great run. Coaching points here. This is the ball carry. It's sweep to the left. Call it 59. And the sweep, wing T sweep is designed, the buck sweep is designed as a cutback sweep, meaning it's not a stretch sweep where you try and get to the sideline. You get out here, you look for the kick from the front side guard right here on the force player, and then you look to wind it back and run back because you'll have a backside wall set up, and normally you can get teams in over pursuit. So let's take a look at that. This was a very good 37-yard gain. And so key point, it kind of worked out, but you'll see the freshman here. Instead of going inside, he blocks the kick player. And one thing about him, you'll see he runs the ball really well. He's not a super physical player. So this should have been his man, and he should have worked inside the 20. We missed that. It's still okay. We're still able to get the edge because he does enough. He even gets blown back, but he gets blown back actually so much it creates a little bit of a horizontal bubble here. So guards are out in front. Here's our backside guard, and here comes the backside wall tight end to tackle. So they're going to set up a very nice little cutback lane, which he sees, good vision, and he's going to take advantage of that. Gets back in the seam. Good job switching the ball, protecting it. Not very good there, almost lost it again, but a nice little gain. So we'll play it through one time. Guards out in front. I would like to see that backside guard get back inside and actually make a play for number 8, but still effective. Nice big run. So here we have our power, and you'll get to see the freshman run. So second down here, we had a false start on the play prior to this, so second 15. And we're not going to panic. We're going to run our offense. So this is our power play, which we did not display in the scrimmage. So what we're going to get here is look for a double on this one tech. If we can get it, a double here with the tight end, then working next level. Our big 260-pound fullback's going to J block and kick out the force player who shall be coming up. And then our play side wing, he's going to arc to the inside linebacker. And we look again to build a wall is what we call it. And again, it's going to be a cutback play. It's tight, but the freshman, and again, he's a special kid. Not just in the way he is as a player, but his maturity. I mean, I quite honestly have never ever in 32 years of coaching seen a freshman mentally as mature as him. And it added to his skill, which is only going to improve as he plays more. He's going to be a real special player, and a kind of player this high school just rarely, if ever, gets. But watch this here. We're going to get a knockdown here. Great job by the fullback. I would like to see the line working a little bit more urgency upfield. But good run. Kicks it down inside the 5-yard line. And backside tackle could have been a little bit quicker getting through, but he does a great job, the wing back. Great job with his vision and puts us in a great spot down at the 5-yard line. So here, our next play is to be our first touchdown. Again, we just want to assert our physical dominance here. They had, later in the game, in goal line short yardage, they brought their 2 big guards in, the 360 and 320-pound kids, to shut down the middle. They didn't have them in here. And here's their goal line look. They're creeping their inside backers up, which is a lot of what we got from them last year, and just staying in a compressed 3 shell over the top in case there is a pass. This is going to be a quarterback wedge. We're going to get off the ball, drive, and wings will fold in, push the lineman in front of him, which is legal in Arizona. And they did a good job shooting the gap, but basically we just forced our way through and touchdown. So we take the lead. So great job there. Great job moving the line of scrimmage. Now, this is the kickoff that went house but got called back, and I have this on. It still gives them great field position. And after the explosive play on the kickoff, we give up another one in the pass game. But I want to highlight what's wrong here. Our kicker doesn't have the biggest leg. Look at all these vertical bubbles here, and that just means we want the line down. We want them staggered, but we do not want them staggered at 10 yards. I mean, look at this kid is totally out of the play. He should be squeezing to outside shoulder. He's ahead of the other gunner. Here we have the 2 interior down, backside not so much. And we give them a lane. And even here, we are in a position to make tackles if we break down and take good angles, and we don't. And this killed us all game. So a couple of arm tackles, poor angles, and this actually is a great job by, this is one of our backup running backs, and he actually had a really good game. He was our second leading rusher when all was said and done. He does a great job selling this. This is a borderline legal block. It looks like he has his arm in front of him. And we it is borderline. We tell our kids, do not, first of all, if the runner is past where you are, don't even touch the guy. I mean, this is a block where technically he could still make the play by position, but this kid is a ton faster. He wasn't going to make it even if he was left alone. But watch how he sells this. He does a great job selling this, and it gets us the flag. Kind of flails there, and here comes the flag right there. And that's going to come back, and that paid off for us. So 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul puts them at midfield. So still a short field. We're giving them short fields. They're going to take a shot. This is our quarterback, also our best cover corner out here. And he's in really good position, and you'll see they're going to shift to this formation, bring 32 over. He makes a great play on the ball. There's a little bit of a push off at the end. You could argue for it, but you couldn't really be too angry. And it's like I told him, because he was complaining about it. If he's playing his position, his body position right, because I coach the secondary also on defense, if he's playing the body position that we work on, and that's feeling with your inside hand where the receiver is and leaning into him to make it harder to push off, and when he does push off, makes it a lot more obvious, and it also disrupts his route. He didn't do a good job of that, so ultimately we still have to make a play. He was in great position, just didn't make the play. And you'll see a flag come in at the end. It was actually they called him for a face mask after the catch. It wasn't the offensive PI, which we initially hoped it might be when they threw it. So here we go. Again, they got great speed outside, and our corner is one of our 3 fastest kids here. And they're a good position. That little push got him out. He needed to do a better job coming back to the ball. Didn't do it. Big play to them that we were in position to make. They ended up scoring on that drive. So move ahead later into the first quarter. And again, we're going to work our inside game to the fullback. He does a much better job here of both fighting for extra yards and securing the football, but he's slow off the ball. And again, he's a big kid, 260. Would like to see him off a little bit quicker. Still want that foot position here a little bit more, I guess, cheated a little bit to where his toes are about halfway on his foot. You know, not enough to really be a key, but to give him chance to get in the hole. Luckily here, the fullback getting off slow lets the wingback get up there. And again, he's a freshman. He's blocking in the back of our guard. But these are things he's going to learn that he'll be good at. I mean, he's a 6 foot, 175, 180 pound frame. And again, he's 14 years old. So he's going to be just fine. He's not even a grown man yet, so to speak. So good job there getting push up front, creating the crease. Now here, and that was just an example. I threw that in there to see how we want our belly game to work and how it should be executed. Here again is another situation where we are in position to make a play. This leads to their second touchdown, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, in position to make a play. This is a bubble screen. This was not the ball I thought it was. But again, we're in position to make a play. We get a good read from our Falcon Rover, which in our defense, they're hybrid outside back or safeties. This kid is our backup quarterback, who's actually probably going to start our next game, and I'll get to that more later. So we get the read on the pass. I like this. Linebackers as a whole are getting into their drops. It's a quick play. We're not going to get pressure. And you can see the size of their line, too. This is the 6'8", 360-pound kid. This kid over here is about, like I said, 320, 6'1", 6'2". And these guys, this kid is not small. He's probably 280. But next to this giant, he looks small, and he's not. So they're huge up front. That's one area they had, and like I said, they have good athletes outside. So he makes a good play, and he's a sophomore too. Well, like I said, we're young at a lot of spots, and it bodes well for the future. There's going to be growing pains this year. So he does a good job recognizing and attacking. Right here, we want him in an outside position, and he dipped inside and gave up leverage. Our corner here is not already in a good position. He should be outside in and forcing him back into where the pursuit's coming from. And you see our linemen have already got into pursuit angles, which we like a lot. And that's these two. It's also our starting fullback. So that results in a broken tackle. Our cornerback, who does he's a little kid, he's a great job in coverage, not very big, but not very good there in getting in position. So we'll play it all the way through. Both these guys lose leverage. They need to force them in. Again, we do not have team speed. We cannot give up the perimeter because we just can't run shit down. It's just not going to happen. And good hustle here from the backside. We do pull him down, but again, that should have been a 3 or 4 yard gain, and it was not. So here they're going to run a goal line trap, and you get a better look or a better feeling of just how big their guards are. And like I said, we're not small. Our freaking interior guys, one of these guys is our fullback, and the other kid's 270. But they look almost small next to these two. So they do a good job here. This is probably the best, second best running back we will face. He's got good instincts. He's a transfer they got last year from a bigger school, and he had to sit several games last year, so we didn't see him when they played. But he's a good one, and you'll see that at different spots during the game. So here comes a trap. Center blocks back. He's going to work this big boy to our linebacker, and they're going to look to trap him. And he does a pretty good job actually getting underneath the trap. He's going to wrong arm it, but he makes the mistake here by just stopping his feet to take on the block instead of driving through it. And he's in the right position. Like I said, he's got it wrong shouldered. If he just fights through, he either clogs it up or forces a bounce. And quite honestly, if he had forced the bounce, they had it blocked pretty well over here. It might not have made the difference. But linebacker does a good job filling, just does not bring his feet with him, and they get into the end zone. So we'll play that back at full speed. There's a trap. Linebacker catches instead of accelerates through, and they score. All right, so let's put this drive together, and again, we're going to work the fullback again, and this is going to be our belly play out of double wing set. And what we do, we set this up to try and look like power or sweep to get them maybe to the linebackers to flow to the motion of the wing back here. He's going to motion, but instead is just going to stop and lead up through the hole, and it's actually to this side, so it'll be him doing it. There you see that, and that just kind of sets a key, but again, great job, and our fullback is a load to bring down. He fights his way for about 11 yards there. And we did have, I think actually on this play too, we killed it. You see they've got an overload here. They're in a one tech. We had gashed them to this side, so they're in an overload. They've got a one tech here, and then a 3 technique with the big boy here, and then there's 7. So they're giving us a bubble. I think originally we had the same play called, but we had it called over here. We caught the overload from the sideline, killed it, and audible to this belly, 34 belly to this side here where we had a little bit of a bubble. So this is one where we got it right as coaches, and you see the push up there. They did get to him on the backside, but he's not going to go down by just grabbing him. You're going to have to get down on his legs and take him down. All right, here's our backup left wing. The freshman, he sustained an ankle injury. He came back to play, but he's over on the sideline getting it retaped here. And that's another thing about him and about the maturity I talked about for someone of his age. He is tough. I mean, it would have been enough for most kids just to pack it in, but he came back and actually played effectively, and you'll see a run later where he is basically again running on a sprained ankle. I can't see enough about the kid, but this kid, he started on the depth chart as number 3, but he's just such a heady football player, and I talked about him in scrimmage. He understands the game better than anybody we have on the team. He's not fast. He's not big. He just does what he's supposed to do. And you see the result here. They do a great job. This is power, which is going to be our it's double wing toss play. They do a great job caving the side of the line down, creating a wall, and he sees it and gets there decisively. And in his case, not having a lot of speed actually helps him, because he doesn't have to be patient. He can get the ball and attack right now because he's going to be a half step slower than a couple of the other backs we have where they'd have to let the block set up. He can just go get it. So watch this. There's a toss. Great job by the fullback again. And he gets up in the seam, cuts it back. And again, this kid is he's about 145, maybe 150 pounds, and about 5'7". But he just goes and gets it. I mean, he is a program kid. He's a scrapper. Great job by the backside guard and tackle getting up, and that's a nice little run. So we're driving down. We're down 14-7 now. And this actually could have been a key play too. We kind of salvaged it a little bit, but at the end of this drive, something happened with our offense, which there's never an excuse for, especially as good as we are up front. So now we're in our robust formation. We're coming back, same play, different formation, but same toss, same action. The wing back, the fullback screwed up there. When we have 2 backs in the backfield, the wing back who's in the backfield has the J block or the kick out block on the end. He should be leading, and he goes and blocks the same man initially. And that takes, you see there, that takes a body away downfield, but we still made something positive out of it, 9-yard gain. So we're driving. Here is going to be just another wedge play, and they actually had one of their big boys in right here, but we're still going to come at him. We are that confident in our line, even though this kid is over 300 pounds going against a 185, 190 pounder. It doesn't matter. We're still going to run what we run. So there, just good push up front, moving the pile, getting down inside the 10. 1st and goal. Now, here's one of the things we cannot do in this offense, and it's one thing that we've really tried to drive home all preseason, and that's keeping good sticks. And by good sticks, I mean we play in front of them. I mean on first down, we want to average 4 yards on first down 60% of the time and be in 3rd and 3 or less 90% of the time to make this offense click the way we want it to click and the way it can click. He just takes his eyes off the pitch, and this puts us behind the sticks, or as I like to say, gives us bad sticks. And you can see the frickin' hole is there. Look at this wall. We're going to get the kick out, and if he's just downhill right here, this is our backside. They do a great job. Our tight end here with the backside cut. Set up excellently. I mean, he may have scored on this, and that's going to be key on this drive. Instead, takes his eye off the pitch, drops it, gets back on it, but now he got second goal from the 13. That's not how this offense is designed and not how it's most effective. And that's the same for any offense, but especially ours. All right, so here we're going to come back the same play, power to the other side. They do a decent job playing this. Our backside, and this is our biggest tackle, is also, you know, our slower. Here, it's our little guy. He's got to do the kick out against someone a lot bigger than him. Path here for the wing back is good. Our quarterback got a 0 on this play because he's supposed to pitch and then roll up and also lead in the hole. And he told me on the sideline he did that because he thought they would chase him, and I'm not going to tell you how the rest of that conversation went, but needless to say, yeah, he was told never to do that again. That's as politely as I can put it. You know, the offense is designed as it is for a reason, and everyone has to do what they're supposed to do for it to work. And when one person doesn't, like this was probably the kid he would be blocking, you know, and he gets in and gets his damn ankles. So yeah, it's kids are kids. You know, these are high school kids, or again, you know, most of them are 16, 17, 18 years old, a few 15-year-olds. They are still going to occasionally think they maybe know better. It is what it is. But yeah, we correct it and do it as gently as possible, sometimes not so gently. So here, this is called our green formation, and we move the wing up here. The purpose of this, we wanted to run this formation to see if they're playing a true technique-based front versus aligning to a technique off a position, they would have bounced this guy out. You see here they did not. He stays, and he's coming up to come hard off the edge. He pretty much stays in the same technique. So that should set up a good down block for us here and give the kick out to the fullback to number 3 here, who now becomes a leverage player. So they didn't adjust to this, which is what we wanted. Again, it's the same play. Good job. Look at the fullback. Another knockdown for him. I love this kid. When he will make some mistakes mentally, but when he does what he's supposed to do, watch him just crush this. Keep your eye on that. Kid does a good job catching him, but he just drives him off the ball. So now we're in 4th down and just outside the 2-yard line, and we're going to run a wedge to the fullback. We just don't get off the ball low enough here. This is a play that we should easily, I mean, we scored the first touchdown off this exact same play, only it was a quarterback instead of the fullback. Maybe in hindsight, we would have had him keep it and had the fullback just get up and push. But again, these are yards we have to get in this offense with our line. And, you know, credit to the defense, too. They knew what was coming. Our fullback tries to bend a little bit. He's not as decisive, and they stop him just short. So I'm just going to play this next sequence. We needed something big defense now. That was a big momentum killer. It's 14-7 them. We step up. They are in a position where they have to try and get some space. Do a great job there. Here, they're going to get a false start penalty. Their big guard came out of his stance. So things are looking good. And on this play, again, they're a little discombobulated, and we're going to get a safety. quarterback was making a check. Center snapped it out of the end zone. So now it's 14-9. So now let's, we got a little bit of momentum swing. Let's get down to work here. Again, wedge play. This is again to the quarterback. This turns into a 16-yard gain. He almost popped it. They got him by his ankles. But you can see the beauty of this. He gets lost in this mess. And our line does a great job driving off the ball. Fullback driving. You'll see the quarterback right here. He pops out. And just one player, he probably would have gone or at least gotten inside the 10 if that lineman hadn't have recognized where he was at and made the play. So they're bringing pressure, and again they bring outside, and we just do a great job moving the pile. 16-yard run there. Now here we're going to come to the sweep play, and again we're in what we call this our blue formation. Green is right wing down, and the R in green means R, so he's down. Blue, the L means left wing, means he's down on the line of scrimmage. Again, they do not adjust, so it should give us an easy down by the tight end, easy down to the backer for him, and this is where the guard's kick out block's going to come. It's a nice little 10-yard gain. Great job by the front side guard. I don't know what the hell our fullback was doing there. So our fullback, he's blocking it like it's power. He should be going backside and blocking the A gap away from the play where our backside guard is pulling from. In other words, he should be taking him on. Didn't necessarily mess the play up, but again, it's not doing your job and it's getting confused, which you get these mistakes in the first game, but still a good little run there. So now again we're down inside the 10. Now we're just going to come back and work power. Doesn't always work. That time they did a pretty decent job, but should have been a touchdown. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was over. They called it down. But again, the fullback, and that's our backup fullback, by the way, he goes to the wrong spot. We should have been up in the hole leading versus helping on the kick out. So now we're down, and we're just going to come back with the same play out of our robust formation, and they're up on the line, coming hard, and does a good job picking through the pile, finding the seam, and we score. So now we take a lead. Now, this is another play that it's not one of the three key plays that I'm going to show you in the fourth, but this is 25 seconds before halftime. They're going to scatter to what we call, well, it's an empty set. We call this ghost, and what that does is they're going to bring 3 receivers field side, 2 receivers boundary. The coverage adjustment, the outside linebacker here now, this side it becomes man coverage. Corner is man coverage on number 1 for this receiver outside. Outside linebackers man coverage on the number 2 receiver to this side. And then we play cover 3 to the 3 receiver side. So it's a combo coverage, and they did a good job. I mean, we did not cover this well. So they're going to shift to that. And there they go, so empty. So you see our secondary talking, ghost call, ghost. Then our call here is to this side is blue, blue, blue. Safety's got it, he's adjusting. Corner echoes it back. Outside linebacker's going to come out. Corner here is echoing black, black. The mistake here, he should have loosened up a little bit. He puts himself in a bad position there, and again, this is a sophomore. So this is where it breaks down. Again, they have more speed. He is out of his break. Actually, that's not a sophomore. That's that's our backup over there. That's a senior. So even less of an excuse. So corner to this side is good. Here, again, we're in cover 3. Safety here is bailing. This outside linebacker is going to come to the flat, and he's playing a deep third. Again, that's irrelevant to this side. He's in actually decent position. His man is going to stop, and I'll give him credit for I guess a semi-smart play. he knows the situation. He knows it's the end of the half. He's not going to sell out and come up to play this hitch. They want to do this to manipulate our coverage and let him run free. So he sees that. He delays a little bit, but still tries to get back and help. But ultimately, it's not his responsibility anyway. He's just making a good football play here. And our Falcon Rover here, our down safety, is just out of position. Did not get out of his back pedal soon enough to compensate for the speed advantage that they have. And quarterback, they set a nice clean pocket for him. Really good job there. I mean, that's credit to them. He lets it go and juggling catch to score. That was kind of a backbreaker. It could have been even worse because they get the ball coming out in the second half. So it's 21-16 now, and this is, like I say, the games with this team go back and forth all the time. So they got the ball. This is where they started after another good kickoff return. Special teams let down again. And here's their good back. He's going to take this to the house on the first play after halftime, after we specifically said how important it was to get a stop here and what made our adjustments. And he does a really good job. Good job here squeezing. They've got, again, you see the size of these two, and these two are not small. They're fighting it, but he squoze, did what he was supposed to do, and just really was in position to make a play and didn't. This linebacker should be on his read and downhill quicker. Because he's not reacting as quick as he should have, he's going to get sealed off, and it's going to open up a nice cutback seam here. So you'll see him run through this tackle and him be out of position, and our secondary not reacting. There it is. And again here, don't get flat-footed, break down, but still attack and know where he wants to go with the ball. So attack, stay on his inside hip, get your eyes across to prevent him from bouncing, which doesn't happen. Arm tackle, it's thrown off and takes to the house. Lazy job by our backside corner. He kind of let up, so we'll just play it through. Kids are talking and adjusting, and it's just being decisive in your reads, and both inside linebackers were bad there, and that could have made a difference. And then tackling did hurt us a little bit in this game, to be honest. So now they're up. They're now up 28-16. So we're in a hole. We're going to stay with our offense and come back. So here again, it's going to be our strong side power play to our backup. Great job again by the fullback, and you see that wall created. This was our halftime adjustment too. We're in unbalanced now. This is what we call unbalanced. The tight end, the right side tight end comes over and lines up outside our left wing, and that creates a bubble. And we did this because we wanted to run sweep and get extra leverage on the outside. No adjustment up front. He's still in a 7-tech, so that makes it an easy block for both of these guys. Wingback can help if he tries to bounce outside, but our big tight end should be going right to the inside backer. And again, we made the adjustment to look for the quick kick out because their leverage players were playing from space instead of up on the line, meaning we weren't going to get to them with our wingbacks. And executed really well, 16-yard gain. So you'll see we collapse the left side here. Tight end, it did go to the wrong person, but we fixed that as well. He should have gone inside and left the kick out. And he does a good job. Can't complain there. Our front side guard, I think that confused him because he was looking to kick him, and when he wasn't there, you see he kind of slows down, and now he's looking inside for someone to block, hesitates a little bit. But still, you can't fault that. Not every play can be perfect as it's drawn up, and you can't complain about a 16-yard gain. So we're going to come right back to it, and there you just get a better look at the alignment. So we're guard, tackle, tight end, wing, tight end. And Here finally they bounce. So now they bounce to a what would be a 9 technique, but still they're still giving us what we want, and that's a down block for our big tight end here. So they made their adjustment, wing back, and I want to call out, this is the freshman again, I want to call both these guys out. And again, he's not physical in his blocking yet, but watch what they do. Look at the wall they set. So tight end climbs, he blocks down, it's a 9 tech. He's going to block the outside linebacker coming in. Both guys do a good job. Here's our front side guard. He's already got his eyes on the kick, and he's going to be in position to make the block. Boom, there it is, backside guard up through, and cut back down to the 6-yard line. So executed very well there, no complaints at all there. And then here it's going to be, again, we're in our robust T formation, and it's going to be power to the left side. And they do a good job getting movement up front, and just enough for him to get in. What went wrong on this play, and you'll see it here, again, this is a freshman. He's leading, and he should be kicking him, and he's the one who gets his arms on the ball carrier, just not deep enough to make a difference. So this is just coaching stuff, and again, he's a youngster, and he's going to be he's already really good, but he's going to be really good. And so that's just educating him on what he needed to look for there, which we didn't film. Special teams again. What we did to counter this week, before we got COVID canceled, special teams, now this actually, besides the run back, turned into a good play. I will talk about this more in a minute. Special teams, we want to get kids on the field that aren't playing offense and defense, and give our starters a rest. We have 3 or 4 kids that go both ways and play most of the game. So we look at special teams as an opportunity to give them rest, get them off the field. So we got backups in there, and it just didn't work. So you want to get kids on the field, but kids have to be able to perform when you get them on the field. And we weren't getting what we wanted with special teams, so we're going back. And when we do get back on the field and play, we're going to have our best athletes, not necessarily on kickoff return, but our 11 best athletes, or 10 best athletes plus the kicker, are going to be on the kickoff coverage team. And that means there's going to be 10 people who start at other positions out there. But it's what you got to do. You cannot do this on special teams and give up this much in terms of yardage. Now, what we do here, and this is a break that we got because they should have got to keep the ball. We forced a fumble here, and there is a good job doing that. But prior to the fumble, we also commit a face mask, and they got this one wrong, just quite honestly. So there you see poor job squeezing. Now right here, he's going to commit a face mask. You see his hands go up. I'm sorry, it's actually the second kid coming in. It's quick, but it's still a face mask, and that should have been, it was called, but it was not called correctly. So he's cleared that. He's still in possession of the ball. Now it comes and gets stripped right after that face mask. So what should have happened there is they should have kept the ball, and it should have been a 15-yard penalty. What they did is they gave us possession and gave us a 15-yard penalty back. So we those are breaks that you get. We got a break there, but still the underlying point is that was terrible on special teams. All right, you're going to get to see our freshman go to work now a little bit. He committed a false start, his second one to play before, so it's 1st and 15. We're going to give him the ball, let him run sweep, and again, we're running it out of our unbalanced look. So this time, the left side tight end is aligned up here outside the wing. You'll see they're talking through their adjustment, which their coaches gave them, but we're still going to do a good job getting the edge. And actually, it looks like he ignored what the linebacker was telling him because he's still in a 2 technique here over our guard. So he did not adjust like he should have. So here comes a freshman, and again, he does a great job running. So here, he sees the kick, and you saw how quick that cut was. It's decisive. Here it looks like he's stretching. He sees the alley, gets his hand on the guard. Watch him plant his foot right here. Bam! And he's going to get downhill, and that's just instinctive stuff. He's a football player. While he learns a lot of the other nuances of our offense, just these instincts that he already has, like I said, he is going to be a really, really good player. That time the quarterback was supposed to run away and carry out a bootleg fake, so he did that correctly. So yeah, freshman makes up for some of that yardage he lost. This play, our cameraman came off late. We're in unbalanced again to the left side because they've started to adjust, but they're still not adjusting effectively, so we're going to keep running it. And good job by the front side there, and good cutback by our little third string wingback. Again, you can see he's not fast, but he's smart, and he does what he's supposed to do. He gives us everything he's got, and that's all that you ask for a player. So good job by Mikey there. Now we start counter play. I wanted to show this. We didn't run counter a lot because we didn't really have to. We were successful with power and sweep. But this is going to be motion here, and he's going to fake a toss. Fullback's going to step, come back, and then our backside guard and tackle pull. Same play, same blocking scheme as power, going the other way. Quarterback's going to fake, get a little deeper though, and an inside handoff here. So this is a good game. There was a little bit of congestion at the point of attack over here, but watch him again, the freshman. He does a very good job being patient and setting things up. So here we go. And he's going to get his 7 yards. And sorry about that. My yard guys were here, so my dogs were acting a fool. So sorry for the pause there. But yeah, he does a good job being patient here, and gets it's 7-yard gain, and he fights for his yards too. So we're going to come back again, unbalanced look, and again our cameraman was a little bit late, but you can see do a good job coming off the ball here. Fullback is now going to the correct spot, and he's going to do a good job, gets a seam, cuts it up, touchdown. So at this point, we've cut the lead. And now we need to play a little bit of defense so we can come back and get on top. So here, I think this actually, I think by his actions, I think this was supposed to be an option play, and I think there was a misalignment problem here. And you see him looking for his running back, and this is a huge stop right there on third. So 4th down now, and 28. It's 28 to 24 because we went for 2 after that last touchdown to get within striking distance. So this is going to be a huge 4th down play. And I'm kind of shocked here. 4th and 3. These big boys up front, and it's not like they totally dominated with it, but it's same as our line. They had the capability to block and get 3 yards, and this kid's good. I would have handed him the ball and took my chances. They manipulated the box, shifting again to 2x2, and we had basically it's I guess 5 on 7. So by numbers, it tells you to go ahead and pass, but I still would have run, especially being up top, seeing the way our inside backers were playing where they weren't coming down as quickly as possible. And that was a huge play there. So our corner, a little out of position, but he got back in time just to make enough of a difference. I'd like to see him get out of his back pedal earlier. He got between the hands, and did enough to cause the drive to be stopped. So good on him there. Now let's go back to work. And again, this is the freshman. So power play, and I'll just play this out. We do a good job here. Nobody appears. This is a good play by the fullback. They're playing off. Nobody shows right away as the force player. So he's smart. He sees his kick isn't there, just turns his eyes upfield, gets downfield. See, good job. Blocks the man ultimately he was supposed to. Great stiff arm there by the freshman. He's strong for a young kid. And he goes into score. Unfortunately, we had a block in the back down in this area, which brought it back. But executed nicely, minus that. So this is where the penalty. The block in the back was at the 10. Unnecessary block in the back again, which totally drives me nuts. So we are going to go back to our fullback here. Freshman's catching his breath. Fullback, nice 4 or 5 yard gain. Now we're going to give the freshman his touchdown back. So in our robust formation, again, he's got the kick. Fullback will now lead with the backside tackle and guard, and in great position. This kid is technically a tackle playing tight end. He's playing tight end because he's athletic, and because we have two big boys that can play tackle. But he's just another tackle here. He did a great job crushing the edge all night. There actually was not one of his good efforts. He kind of came up and caught the block, which disappoints me. That was a terrible first step, actually. Freshman, again, good instincts, sees the hole is not inside. Yeah, I just sing his praises, and that's probably his worst block of the game. That's terrible. He's a lot better than that. But freshman, he kind of did this mostly on his own. Bounced, found the hole, went in and scored. And now we are up. And at that point, up 38-27, and here comes the big momentum shift. That's a great kickoff, gets him inside the 10. And again, look at the frickin' vertical bubbles here. And again, this was just not having our best 11 on kickoff coverage, coaching error. We screwed that up. We did. Gets knocked off, and if we had been aligned, this just drives me nuts. Every time I watch it, I just want to go into a rage. We're down good here. They're down where they're supposed to be. This backside, I don't even know where the hell our gunner is over here. If we're down at a 5 yard interval, which we should be, we're stringing him to the sidelines, and they probably have to start inside the 20. Instead, we give up the damn edge. He does a good job setting up here to pick off our pursuit. Now here, we're going to have 4 guys around him. 5. It's 5 against 2 plus the runner. Break down, make a tackle. We don't. You can tell, this is just 1, 2, 2 guy. He runs through 2 guys here. He's out of position. He should be in here finishing this. He has an angle. It just drives me nuts. And, and then again, this kid's not going to catch him on foot speed. So that was a big momentum changer. So this is play 1 of 3 that was a difference maker. And I'm sorry, just watching this just is like infuriating. Especially this right here. Ultimately we could have settled for that. They still have to move 60 yards, but no. We gave them an easy touchdown. So now we have the ball back. Now it is 38-35 us. And we just need to do what we do. So we start off with power, get a nice little gain here, 5 yard gain. That's what we want to do. Move the sticks, stay ahead of the sticks, keep good sticks. 5 yards at a pop. Here comes a big fullback again. I don't know what formation we're in there. We don't have that formation in the. I think the freshman was lined up incorrectly. So, this is all we need to do here. And again, the freshman goes to the wrong spot. So this is a 3rd and 1. And I'll give him credit here. He was playing hurt at this time. You know, he got rung up on this play too. I think this was his last offensive play of the game. So what went wrong here? Wing back should have gone to the next level. Tight end has this. There's no need to go there. Guard, he's got his eyes where he needs to be. The snap, I think the snap was slow here because there's a little bit of a mix-up or a issue here with the mesh point of the backside guard and quarterback. This guard overruns his block. Now he does a good job getting on it, but you know the problem has already happened. We come off this block even when 2 guys are there in the wrong place. The freshman this time does not see the cutback lane, and this kid makes a hell of a tackle. I mean, this is a really nice tackle. Forms him up, plants him, and this brings us down to play number 2. This is 4th down, 4th and 2. 4th down, actually a little less than 2. We have 65 power called. We're going on 2 to try and draw him. Quarterback got up, and this should have been called in the huddle. We told him on the play, go Tuesday, which means go on 2. He gets up to the line, and as the line gets set, he yells out, Tuesday, Tuesday. One of the guard told me that as soon as he said that, this kid said, watch the ball, they're going on 2. You know, that's standard terminology. We go, our snap cadence when we give it to the quarterback, we don't say anything. It's regular, which is down, set, ready, go. And if we say Sunday, it's going to be on set, so it'll be down, set. Tuesday will be on 2, so that would be down, set, ready, go, like that. So he and you know, again, it's not uncommon terminology, so a smart football player over here will know that, and fortunately for them, they had one. He called it. So you'll see him start the cadence. That's the cadence right there. They do not move. Then he drops the snap. Now, again, it's going to be power. If he had got the pitch right then, you see we have the movement we need up here. It's there. And it continues to be there for him just to get downhill and get up in the seam. Instead, quarterback picks up the ball. So one mistake on the fumbled snap, and I'm putting that on the quarterback for pulling out too early. So first mistake. Second mistake is right here. If he just sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical, he's got a shot. He tries to juke and now bounce outside. Stick your foot and get vertical. You're probably going to get it. Get vertical, and instead he runs right into the tackle here and does not get it. We turn the ball over, and that was huge. That was huge. So they come down here, and he does a good job there. We're tired as hell on defense right now. Like I said, you have several players that go both ways, and it's starting to show. And on this play, first down on the 15, 1st and 10, and we just don't make tackles. You know, we're in position again. He's doing a good job running the clock down. You see him starting to count here. 1, arm tackle. Diving, 2nd arm tackle, a 3rd. You know, so he's a good runner, but my God, he's not Jerome Bettis. You know, we got to bring our feet with the tackles. So they go up now. We get the ball back, and you know, we're still in our unbalanced. Good job there, cutting back inside, and first down on a key 3rd and 12. We had a penalty. Now we're going to come back and run counter here. This does not go well. This is one of the bad. Decent enough push, but it's just going to be a good play on the defense. This kid right here, if fullback is there and forms him up like he should on the block, we're going to pop this for easy first down, or actually a good gain, I should say. And instead, that kid makes a shoestring tackle. And you see, if we block him, there's nothing but grass out here. That probably wouldn't have gone because, again, his foot speed isn't all that, but that definitely got us inside the 20. That isn't one of the crucial plays, though. And actually, I think I missed the one play I wanted to put in there. Yeah, I did. But the third play actually after that was we ran bootleg pass. Tight end was wide open and dropped the ball, and that would have gone down at least inside the 15 and given us a shot to score. So that was basically it. We dropped that pass, which would have been a first down and big play, and then we're forced with a 4th and long situation, which does not vibe with this offense, and turn the ball over, and that was a ball game. So again, a lot of positive stuff to take out of this. I really thought I put that last play in though too. Oh, actually I did. I don't know what the hell happened. Let's go back and look at this. It is there. I think I skipped it. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. So counter was after this play. It's 2nd down, 11. We got stuffed the first play. Look at this. Quarterback. I really would have liked him to get his feet set a little bit better, but still he gets a good ball off, pulls up, and you'll see here our tight end is behind him, hits him right in the hands, and dropped it. He felt bad. I mean, you can't beat kids up. I mean, that's right where you want it to go. And I heard the coach on the other team yell. He said, "My curse his player." I then said the player's name. He knew right away. He saw it develop. So it's our weak side tight end. He's the faster of the two. He's not a blazer, so he's probably going to get yacked. If he could have broke this tackle, may have gone, but he's probably going to get yacked down around the 20, 25, 20, maybe getting inside the 20. And we're in position to win then. We can still run our offense and get in to win, but instead he drops it, and you'll see the backside. You'll see the result back here. This is our, he is not happy. Neither is he. So it is what it is. I mean, that's football. You can't really, when a kid makes a physical mistake like that, you encourage them. You don't denigrate them, because you need that kid to play for you. He feels as bad as anybody for that. Obviously, it's a play you have to make, and we talk about making those plays, but you're never going to beat up a player for dropping a pass or something of that nature. Where I really get on the players, and where it's going to be a little bit more stern in terms of the correction and coaching, are the mental mistakes, the penalties, the going the wrong way, blocking the wrong person, deciding that you're going to, instead of pivot and lead up on the hole on power, boot out like you have the ball because you think they'll follow you. Those are the things that bring, I guess, stern coaching. Kids making a physical mistake, you can't help that. And even on fumbles, there's two different types of fumbles. That first fumble I showed you on the second play, that's a mistake that you correct sternly because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He needs to be mentally aware of where he's at in traffic and secure that ball. If a kid just gets rocked by a great tackle and fumbles the ball, and he's doing everything he's supposed to do, you pick him up then. So as a coach, you need to, it's more than ever, just beyond knowing football and knowing X's and O's, it's being a part psychologist with these kids, knowing what buttons to push, because It's not a situation like when I played where it was a dictatorship. I mean, obviously the coaches are still leaders, but it's just not the same old school style, all fire and brimstone, because most kids now, there's still a few throwback kids that will respond to that, but most don't. You know, you need to correct them in a way that's not degrading. You need to encourage them, boost them up. You know, I don't know what it says about, I'm not going to say society's soft. I don't believe that. I don't necessarily believe that that old school way was the right way to coach. You know, I'll be honest with you. I had my coach would grab, you know, you grab your face mask and yank your head around, screaming in your face. Couldn't do that now, you'd get fired, but why would you want to? That doesn't really inspire a kid to play hard. I responded to that because I would develop a hatred of my coach. It was so severe, play to play, that it would make me play harder. You know, I didn't hate him, but I would make myself hate him for that moment, because it would, like I said, it inspired me to play harder. Most kids are definitely not like that anymore. They need discipline, they need structure, but they also need encouragement. You know, especially some of these kids that do not come from the best environment. But anyway, that is it. We got grade checkout. So after this game, we lost one of our wing backs, and it was one earlier in the game that broke that first nice sweep play that switched arms. He was gone with a concussion. One of our starting inside backers was gone with a concussion. We wouldn't have had them if we had played today. Our quarterback and our kicker actually did not take care of business in the classroom. They would have sat this week for grades. Which kicker, unbelievable, but I think he'll be fixed. Our quarterback, I do not know. He wouldn't, you know, if he would have been fixed, we had had a game next week, which we don't now. So, you know, and that's disappointing because our quarterback is a senior. Seniors need to do better than that. They're leaders on the team, and he knows our disappointment with him. So that's why we would have started the sophomore quarterback this week. And you know, I wasn't 100% comfortable with that, but the kid is very coachable. You know, he's got a little bit of swag to him, and like I mentioned in the scrimmage video, he started late. He was originally a running back, and we lost our other backup quarterback 2 weeks into practice for the season, basically because of COVID. His mom wasn't comfortable with him playing, which I totally support. That's the parents' choice of taking care of their kids. So we were kind of, well, I was trying to coach him up, you know, warp speed to get him competent to go in and play. And it helps us if we don't get our starter back. When we do get back on the field, we have extra time to work with him, and I'll be working with him virtually during our quarantine to get him mentally sharp and in tune. But yeah, that was what I wanted to follow up on there with our quarterback, who again is also our best cover corner. So that's honestly where it hurts us more, because we threw 4 times in this game. We don't throw a lot in this offense. We don't need to, but we do need good coverage, and it hurts us in the secondary not having him. So hopefully all that gets squared away, and when we do get back on the field, we'll be back at full strength. We will also have our transfer, who is our best running back, who sat this game because of the transfer rules and would have had to sit this week too. He'll be back, and he gave us fits during the practices we did have this past week on scout team. He's freaking shifty and quick. So it'll be exciting to get him back in this offense, and he's going to do some damage behind this line. So we'll be back, and I'll give you another update at some point during the next week on how things are going. This will also, I guess, let me get a boxing match or baseball game up on the channel as well, which we will do. So until then, thank you as always for watching, and this went quite a while. But appreciate the support of the channel. And again, any questions, hope you found this interesting. Any questions you do have, put them in the comments. And we'll be back. This is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we'll see you. Take care. Hope you all have a great weekend.